Hi guys, Jenny from On Fire Fit, and I am going to walk us through the morning routine and the zone that I am doing today. And I just wanted to encourage you to jump on board with me if you are in a place where you are a little overwhelmed or frustrated or whatever with your state of your house and closets and drawers and things like that. So, my goal is not to create a ton more work to do because honestly, priorities are not always about the house and probably shouldn't be. For me, it is time with God in the morning, my family. But yes, keeping my house clean and organized does help me to function better. So I don't want to neglect it altogether, but I also don't want it to become an overwhelming task. And I think that a lot of times, if you watch YouTube videos where people are doing zone cleaning or they have expertise in this area, most of them don't have full-time jobs. A lot of them have kids that are older. They're not in the same season of life. And so it is easier for them to get a lot of these things done in a quicker amount of time. Or, for instance, if you're normally doing a kitchen zone in a week, the rest of the people that work a lot or have tiny children, that zone might take you 3 weeks to get through. The thing that I really want to do is make it doable, not make it overwhelming. And even if it takes me 3 weeks to get the kitchen in order, it's better than waiting and not doing it at all because I'm so overwhelmed. So whether you have 5 minutes a day, whether you have 15 minutes a day, I don't think you should really devote to more than 15 minutes a day unless you are just a stay-at-home person that has no other responsibilities. But if you can commit to a 5-minute job tacked on to something else that you do, I think it will create progress and momentum. So, for instance, my kitchen zone, my goal today is to clean out one drawer. That's it. And I don't know how long it'll take. I'm going to set a timer, but it's better than not doing it at all because I don't have time to do all 20 drawers or whatever. So I hope that you can start with one simple task. I am going to continue doing my morning and evening routine that I've been doing, and it's just habit building. You know, you take one layer and kind of add another layer and another layer, and before you know it, you're doing a lot of things out of habit without even realizing it. And so I'm just going to kind of walk you through it, trying not to make this too long, but just kind of a before and after of what's going on in my life. Okay, here we go. So here is my just strictly cleaning schedule for today. I really don't have a whole lot of time today, so I don't know that the line at the bottom, if I have extra time, if that's going to happen. I do have appointments for my kids today. I have work to do. I have to prepare for tomorrow's work, things like that. So I am not going to beat myself up if I can't get to that. But this is kind of my plan. The morning routine, let's see how long that takes. The evening routine, you may not see. I'll see if I have time to record it later. But my one drawer, I'm hoping will take about 5 minutes. So if I have extra time, then maybe I'll tackle another one. But otherwise, I'm not going to set myself up for something I can't do. So the first thing I am going to do is make our bed. All right, here we go for the before. Okay, that was 1 minute and 55 seconds. And I used to think that making your bed was kind of a waste of time. And it always felt like it took longer than 1 minute and 55 seconds. Don't know why. But I have to say it does feel better getting into a made bed. And to me, this is a mindset. Like it changes how I put things away during the day instead of just throwing them on the bed or whatever. It kind of triggers me to put things away as I go. So sometimes those things really matter. Now we are going to move on to just picking up the random things in the rest of the room, putting away things that were left out from the morning and just quickly wiping down the sink area. And I use some wipes that I keep in a basket there so I don't even have to go find the cleaning supplies. See you in a few. Okay, that took about 2 minutes, 5 seconds. I'm not exactly accurate because as I went to put away the flat iron, I saw these dents on the back of my head in that I had missed. So I quickly retouched it, but it still only took me about 2 minutes. So next on the list was to pick up the house, and what I mean by that is just some things that are kind of left out. I try really hard to get my kids to put things away. Doesn't always happen, but I do like that the shoes were left at the door because we try not to wear shoes in the house. So I'm gonna let that one pass. But I'm just gonna put things away that are left out here, as well as in my kitchen from getting ready this morning. So here we go with the timer. Okay, that took perhaps longer than I had hoped. It was about 10 minutes and 25 seconds. And I left some things out because I wanted to mention them really quick. But one of the things that happened while I was doing the cleanup is my sweet daughter, who's 15, came in and asked for a hug. And as she looked down at my phone, she saw the timer and she said, "Oh, you're zone cleaning. I don't want to mess up your time." And I said, "The hug is the best part of that time. So I am not skipping that." And she said, "Oh, good." And so we hugged and chatted for a couple of minutes. So that was a well worth whatever time it was. So I just wanted to really quickly come over here and tell you that this is probably very silly, but it may apply to you. If I have a good smelling cleaning product, like I love most of Mrs. Meyer's scents. I think I actually refilled this bottle with honeysuckle, but I liked the lavender, I liked basil, but I love spraying down counters and cleaning bathrooms with stuff that smells good. And this is also natural. So the other thing that I used to use just old rags that I would cut up from towels, but for whatever reason, having these microfiber cloths make me so happy. That seems like so extreme, but it makes me happier to clean with them because they absorb, they dry things really well. I have a surplus of them, of course. I've actually gone through a whole basket of these easily for various projects, but it does make a difference. And it's like the simplest little thing, but for me, it kind of motivates me. So you might want to consider something like that too. Now let's talk about the zone. Okay, as I said before, you might feel a little overwhelmed to even start to dig into drawers and start cleaning an actual deeper zone than what you just see on the surface. And I think the main thing is to start where you are and not try to compare to somebody else. Like, oh, her house is already so clean, so therefore it's easier for her to get at that drawer. The people I watch on YouTube are way more organized than me. They already have systems in place, and it's real easy to get kind of bogged down in comparing to that. So what I'm telling you is start where you are. What is one thing that you could add every day, a new habit? And I would suggest tacking it on to something that you're already doing. For instance, I was just talking to my friend about our evening routine where we're making dinner, cleaning up from dinner, and making lunches. Is there something that you could do for 5 minutes tacked on to that that would get you closer to having a clean and organized kitchen or house or whatever? So for me, sometimes it's just taking the box of receipts that I meant to go through and just sitting down and doing that. And it doesn't really take that long, but because it's one of a zillion things that need to be done, you just don't do any of them. And then it just seems like forever for you to actually get around to doing it. And a lot of times by the time you get around to doing it, you're trying to do like a week's worth of cleaning and organizing all at once. So I figure every little step forward is going to make a difference. So if you're not even at the stage of trying to clean out a drawer, you're just trying to get your countertop cleaned off, maybe pick 5 minutes of just getting one area of your countertop cleared off and find new homes for the things that are there or put away, and see if you can just start with that. And I know my husband and I say this all the time, give a mouse a cookie, meaning you take the things, let's say for example, that are on the counter, and you try to go move them to a cabinet that's already overcrowded. So now you feel like you have to clean out that cabinet and it becomes this big nightmare. I would say just take those items, put them where you intend for them to belong, and try to make a spot for them there, and make that one of your zones at one point in time. Maybe one shelf of that cabinet will be cleared out one of the days down the road. Just make a little note of it, put it on your list, and don't let it stress you out right now. Just work on the zone that you're in right now, and that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna take you to one of the drawers that I'm gonna clean out, and then I'll show you the before and after. Let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. All right, so I don't have a good voice, but I was in The Sound of Music when I was 4, so that came to my mind because this is my first drawer in the kitchen, and it's probably one of the most used, and it's not actually quite as bad, but there's like crumbs and crud, and I have a zillion and one forks and spoons. I really don't need that thing to be overflowing. So I'm just gonna clear out this drawer and see how long it takes. Okay, that took 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I sorted through this bin and I got rid of a million plastic knives that we don't tend to use. I usually put these in my kids' lunches, so if they leave it behind, it's no big deal. But we like sporks because then depending on whatever I put in their thermos for that day, it'll work for anything. And then I did wipe down and wiped out all of these and kind of rinsed them, and then used my little microfiber cloth to quickly dry them. So that was one drawer. I'm gonna go ahead and tackle the next drawer since I have a little extra time, and then I'm gonna be getting ready to head out the door. So this is where I keep cloth napkins, pot holders, the paper napkins. This little doohickey covers over food so that it doesn't splatter in the microwave. We use this thing like forever, 10 times a day. So I'm gonna clean this drawer out real quick and then I'll be right back. That one was about 1 minute 15 seconds, so I am right up at 5 minutes, and I got 2 drawers cleaned out. And so I think I will stop with that for now, and maybe later today, if I have more time, I'll do a little more. Okay, so as a wrap up, one of the things that mildly annoyed me before was people saying, well, it doesn't take that much time to do this or that. And the thing is, none of those things necessarily have to take a lot of time, but when you add them all together, it can get to be a lot of time. There's only so much time in the day, and you can do a million 5-minute tasks, but they're gonna take more than 24 hours of your day then. And we do need to sleep. We do need our family. We do need to work. We do need time with God. So try not to let this be an overwhelming challenge, but just something that you can tack on that will bring you one step closer. And once you circle back and you get through all these little sections of your house, then, kind of keep it as an ongoing thing that you just are always thinking, what can I do? And I think one of the things that is really helpful is when you get to the point where you just take the extra step and put something away right away so that it doesn't get overwhelming and there's so many things. So once you get to that point where you just take whatever it is and just put it away, it becomes so much less time consuming to keep things going. So in any case, I just hope that it inspires you to get doing something, even if it's small, and give yourself a pat on the back if you get that one little project done, and enjoy what's really important in life. A perfect house, crumbs in your drawer, those things don't matter in the grand scheme of things, but 5 minutes, we can get that in, and it's not that big a deal. But when it really comes down to it, enjoy life for what it is and try not to get yourself stressed out, because God doesn't want us to be anxious about anything, and that includes our house. Okay, so I hope you have a great day, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye.